Hello and welcome to Morris Park. I'm Clyde Morris. Sorry I've been away for a while, but after my surgery and stuff, I've been feeling a little rough and I've had to go back to work. Had a lot of holiday stuff going on and we just haven't had time to get out here and do any videos. But something I noticed today and something I wanted to show you folks out there with your Euphorbias, and a question many of you will ask is, do my Euphorbias need any water during the winter? And the answer is some of them do. Not all, but some of them do. Now some of these ones that are more like cactiform and thick will not need any water. Most of these will stay dry right into springtime. But ones like my Euphoria Enigma, some of these medusoid types, some of the leafy types and such, will probably need some water. And you can see this Euphorbia of mine here, the Enigma, is wilted down pretty good. Usually these branches will be more upright, but I've let this one dry quite a bit. In fact, a little bit too much. I'm going to have to give it some water, not a lot, but a little bit of water, because you see I have one branch dying here. And this isn't because it's infected or rotting or anything else, it's just because it's super dry and it's trying to eliminate a branch or two, and will eliminate them all if I don't water it, just to save the main head or the caudex where everything grows out from. Now if you look real close, this Euphorbia also has some little flower buds started on it. See that? Which is kind of unusual for it in this time of year. But I'm going to go ahead and give it just a little bit of water to just keep it good. And I'm going to have to trim off a couple of these branches. This one I might have to trim it off. It's not too bad, but this one definitely. See, it's lost its color, and so I'm going to have to go ahead and trim it off. So what I'm going to do here is just go in behind here with this pair of scissors, get right up to the caudex, and trim it off. And this will kind of relieve the plant too, because it won't be making any effort to even try to save any of that. And as you can see, it's not even bleeding. It's just dried up. So removing that branch, that'll be good. And then I'll give it some water. Just kind of swinging around there. You have to hold still for a minute. I'm not giving it a whole bunch. Just a little bit to let it know there's some water there. Now, for the next few days, I'll have to make sure that I keep the temperature up in the greenhouse, or this could be detrimental. That's one thing about it. You don't want to let these things get too cold after you've done this. Now, in places like Southern California and stuff like that, it does get kind of cool at night. And I was always used to leaving these kind of Euphorbias outside. And sometimes they got rain and everything, and they were just fine. But the main key is to keep it warm. The good thing about where this one is sitting is that the warmth from the shop blowing out to the greenhouse comes right across here. This is one of the main areas it comes to. Now some of these, you see, they're going into their winter dormancy. And the leaves are all turning yellow, and I'll be blowing those off soon. But some of these, and this one won't need any water. I will not be giving it any water, even though it's blooming. You see the little flowers down in there. It always blooms while it's asleep. But this should help this one, and maybe I'll get to see a few little flowers on it by giving it a little bit of water. And you can just see those little flower buds sticking up there. Other Euphorbias that you really have to do this with are my Medusas. These Medusas, if you let them go too dry, they'll start shedding their branches. This one actually, this Medusa mini hybrid, is actually one of the best at keeping its branches during the winter. But I'll give these guys a little bit of water. I'd show you my other ones, but it's kind of dark in the greenhouse right now as I've come home from work, and it's actually pretty much dark outside now. But yeah, some of these Medusas will need some water. If you're afraid that it's going to get too cold in your greenhouse or outside, go ahead and bring them inside the house and put them under a light. If you put them under a grow light or some kind of LED light for a couple of days, just to keep them warm while after you've watered them, that'll probably help them out pretty good if it's going to get too cold. I keep it pretty warm in here. As you can see right now, it's a little over 70 degrees in here. I'm sorry about the picture because it's so dark in here. But it's a little over 70 degrees here, probably about 75, getting close to 80. I don't usually try to keep it this warm, just today the sunshine helped out quite a bit, along with the wood stove. So it's gotten pretty warm in here. But always make sure it's staying pretty warm during that night that you water. You definitely want to keep it warm. If not, go ahead and bring them inside the house. And you'll probably be much better for bringing them in the house. And you won't have that doubts of, is the cold going to kill that or rot it since I just watered it? But anyway, you can see how shriveled these branches are. And you just don't want to let these go too far because they'll just shrivel on down like that one branch did, almost like paper. They'll get really thin and dry out. And you don't want to lose too many of these branches off here. That would really be bad. It won't kill the plant, but it sure will look bad. I say there's another branch there, so I may just trim off. I didn't put any cinnamon powder or anything on the cut area because, as I say, it didn't even bleed. It's dried off and ready to go. But anyways, yes, on some of your Euphorbias, some of the leafy types, some of these Medusoid types, the ones like Stellatas, which is a hybrid of, will need a little bit of extra water during the winter as you see them dry. Now you notice them get too dry, just give them a little bit like I just did. And as I say, if you're afraid of rotting, bring them in the house, keep them warm. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of give you this quick little video and show you what's going on here. I know I've been off the air for a while, and I'll try to get some more videos out here pretty quick. I know a few people have been bugging me about where I'm at. But anyway, this is Clyde Morris from Morris Park. Don't forget to give some of your little Euphorbias some water if they ask for a drink. And keep them warm. Clyde Morris, Morris Park. Take care and have a good evening.